Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Thanks for checking in. We're live in Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard. We appreciate you watching on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our affiliates across the country. Update right now, the lid lifter to the 2026 World Cup. Mexico leads 2-0, 94th minute, and we are down to, this is 10-on-9 now. 3 red cards in the match?
Are you kidding? What did that pay? Did you see a prop before a tournament started?
Like how many total red cards would there be?
That's insanity.
I mean, you're on pace to absolutely go flying over whatever number that is now. 3 in the same match?
I remember 4 years ago, Bet Rivers would offer, will there be a red card at a good price?
Yeah.
3 of them.
Where'd you get 3?
It's Carter Bryant, first dunk of the game.
Yeah. Busy hour coming up. A lot to get into. Some Major League Baseball, WNBA, Stanley Cup, NBA as well. Great time of year. And right now we go out to the Progressive Guest Line. Our buddy Lou Finocchiaro joins the program now. The Bout Business podcast has write-ups every single week for the UFC at VSiN.com. Lou, good to talk to you, my man. How you been?
Everything's great, Mitch. Really appreciate you having me on. Great time of the year in sport.
It's a really good card, too, coming up on Sunday, by the way. Let's begin with Topuria versus Gaethje. How do you see this match going?
Well, listen, Topuria has earned himself the position to be at the top of the heap pound for pound. He has decimated everyone he's been in with, from Holloway to Oliveira and others. And these guys, Holloway and Oliveira, have beaten Gaethje. So you have Topuria, who is legitimately recognized by every acute UFC handicapper as the top of the heap, and you have Gaethje. And what's Gaethje got? Well, he's an Arizonan. He's a much larger man. He's 38 years old compared to 29 for Topuria, and the wear and tear Gaethje has taken is affecting a lot of people and how they view this fight, or they look at Topuria as firing fresh. No one's given Gaethje a chance. No one gave Holly Holm a chance. This is Gaethje, an American, a wrestler, going to do his best for his parents, going to do his best for his country. And quite honestly, I'm approaching this card with relative reckless abandon, Mitch. I'm going to take Gaethje via KO, TKO, or DQ. So any finish, which is reasonably the way he wins, should he pull a rabbit out of his hat and win, that's plus 600. But that is going to be leg 4 of a parlay that I'm going to use, where I use 3 heavy favorites in front of him. Bo Nickel, minus 325. Josh Hokett, minus 410. And Sean O'Malley, minus 440. Should we get the easy part of that parlay and get the first 3 legs in, the Gaethje KO at plus 600 pushes this parlay to 13-1. That's how I'm going to approach that main event, coupled with a couple of the other chalk fighters on the card.
How good is Hokett? And this guy's quite the character, and fought his way into this event with what he did in his last fight.
Before his last fight, Paul, I'd call him a clown. After his last fight, he's legit. I mean, not very, very few heavyweights were going to beat Curtis Blades that night. This Hokett showed that, in fact, the wrestling that he undertook in college and the semi-pro and pro football playing that he did, yes, he's a capable wrestler. He's got good cardio. He can take a punch because he took a lot of good shots from Blades, but that was just about 4.5 months ago. So he's going to need all that athleticism and all that evasion to try and be able to ground the Black Beast in this fight. It may take him a round of evading Derek Lewis to tire Lewis out in that humidity. But once he takes Lewis down, whether that's the first round or the second round, he will take him down, and that will begin the end of the fight for Derek Lewis.
Okay, excellent. And always read his analysis and plays up at VSiN.com. And one you gave out was Garcia plus 145.
Steve Garcia is the underdog on the card that I think holds real merit. Now he's fighting a guy in Diego Lopez that we've seen fight for the title twice, but really show himself to be not ready as far as footwork, quickness, and overall fighting skill to be able to compete with Volkanovski. He lost both of those fights in one-sided fashion, and in the middle, he fought a guy named Jean Silva, and Silva was actually had Lopez in trouble until Silva, over anxious as he was, ran into a spinning elbow, and Lopez won the fight. This will be Lopez's fourth major fight in 14 months, to Volkanovski and Jean Silva. I think that's a little too much. I think it's going to affect him, and he's going to be just a little bit off on Sunday night. And Stevie Garcia, yes, he has not faced the competition that Lopez has, but he enters winning 7 of his last 7 fights, and he has stepped up in competition each way. He decimated David Onama in his last fight, a guy that's tough and willing. So Stevie Garcia, I think, as an underdog, is as good an opportunity as we can find. I'll lay a real bet there because I'm going to use it to try and finance some of these parlays and some of these longer shots that I'll be using on the rest of the card.
Okay, well, here's another long shot for sure, and it's Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Lou Finocchiaro, About Business podcast. He's on the Progressive Guest Line, also his weekly write-ups for the sport at vsin.com. Mauricio Ruffy is higher than a $7 favorite against Michael Chandler. What do you make of the betting number for this match?
Anybody that sees Hoofy fight, he's long, he's lean, he's fast, he's just a precision striker with tremendous power. And Michael Chandler is reckless and doesn't use his wrestling and loves to put on a show, but he's 2-4 in the UFC, and he needs a fight, and he needs to win a fight. Chandler's 40, Hoofy 29, and Hoofy's going to be the taller man by 3 inches, have a reach advantage. So this is an interesting fight for Chandler. Does he stay on the outside and give Hoofy every chance to knock him out, or does he employ his wrestling and go tackle the tall, long Brazilian now training in Australia? We've seen Benoit Saint Denis expose Hoofy's ground game. That has to be the approach for Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler, any kind of inside the distance is plus 650. Now, if you don't want to get that risky and you just want to take Michael Chandler straight, plus 535. But I'm going to use Chandler in one of those 2 capacities.
Okay. All right. You like the O'Malley-Zahabi fight to go the distance?
I like Zahabi and O'Malley to go the distance. That's a minus 160. And if I parlay it with Lopez and Garcia not to go the distance at minus 245, that's a plus 130 return, and I'm all about that parlay.
Let me ask you this, Lou. A couple of minutes left. Great breakdown here in the fight as always. You love betting hockey as well. And we talked to you before the Stanley Cup final began. You gave out your thoughts on the Hurricanes against the Golden Knights. It's been an unbelievable series so far. Do you have a strong opinion on the game tonight or how the series is going to play out in the final 2 or 3 games?
I picked the Hurricanes in 6 with you before the series. I will stick with that. However, I'm taking the Knights tonight. Why am I taking the Knights tonight? Because road teams are 42 and 38 against the number. And so road teams seem to have less pressure, and I'm going to be all about the Knights tonight. Plus, they opened at circa plus 130. I'm seeing plus 138, and we're not even close to game time. As that gets closer to game time, I could see that number going up based on the amount of Carolina money that there's going to be nationally. That may not show up at Circa because you got smart people in Vegas going to be betting the Knights.
Yeah. You also, congrats, by the way, pal. You gave out the Oklahoma Sooners at, I think it was 15-1. You gave out a couple of different props to win the regional, make it to the College World Series. Here they are now. Do you have a bet? Is there a bet to be made now that we're actually in Omaha? Games are starting this weekend, and 8 teams left to play for the national title.
Yeah, I really put a huge premium on teams that were there last year, Mitch. None of the teams were there last year. However, 2 years ago, North Carolina was there. Much of their team returns. They have a top 3 pitching staff of all the 8 teams remaining. If you're looking to get late and deep in the series, it's North Carolina. And I think if you're looking for a little bit of a price, you could look down the bracket to Oklahoma, who opens with Alabama. They're currently 16-1. Or if you want to stay in the North Carolina bracket, West Virginia enters at plus 750 to win the whole thing. They also have a top 3 pitching staff, and they come in as hot as any team in the College World Series.
Very good. Dynamite analysis, as always. Make sure you follow him on X. He is at GamLou, the About Business podcast, and the weekly write-ups again at VSiN.com. Thanks, Uncle Lou. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you. Well done. Ton of props up there at Pauly Market. Who will be the champion, the various champ at the end of the year? And check it out with the menu and all the props. And whether you tuned into basketball or hockey, the action is nonstop, and Pauly Market lets you cash out before the final buzzer. Unlike your typical book where you're locked in the second you place your bet, Pauly Market gives you control of your position the whole way through. You can lock in your edge early and get started with free $50 by using code BUZZ at Pauly Market, BUZZ. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. MVP, next team odds, Giannis, LeBron, politics, weather. It's phenomenal. Check it out. Get your money at Pauly Market.
I've heard a couple of people recently make the case for Ole Miss at 8-1 to win the College World Series. So do with that what you will. One person who I respect reached out to me to tell me that, and Matt Grissom was on today, Money Moves, and he said kind of the same thing. A lot to get into for the remainder of this hour. We might talk to Dave Stewart and Jason Giambi. We'll see how that goes. Much more on the Spurs and the Knicks, and WNBA tonight as well. I have a big bet on this coming up next.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
This is pretty awesome. Welcome back. We're live in Vegas. So much going on. Mexico, they are winners in the World Cup. The opening game here, they won it 2-0 over South Africa. And right now, this is really, really cool as the legend himself, Dave Stewart, Oakland A's fame, obviously, joins us in studio. He's done everything basically around the sport of baseball. Great to meet you, sir. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Thanks for having me on, and I'm doing great. Thank you.
Did you guys back in the late 80s and early 90s have any idea, because Pauly is from Minnesota, I'm from across the border in Wisconsin, were you guys like rock stars when you would go to different cities and play sports? Like every person who I knew back then, everybody loved the A's.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time to be an A. I have to say, I became a part of the organization in '86. And to be able to watch the progression of the organization and the players that we were bringing in, and topping it off, bringing Tony La Russa was the beginning of it. And then all of a sudden, we've got a Bobby Welch, we got a Mike Moore, Canseco, McGuire. Those guys were young rookies in the organization, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun going from town to town, playing in the different stadiums. And this is something that I don't think I've ever seen since or before. When we would take batting practice, we would have probably half the stadium full just to watch our batting practices. It was unbelievable how many people were attracted to our team. And it was definitely, about the Canseco and Mark McGuire, the Bash Brothers thing. But our team as a whole, we had some characters: Dave Parker, Dave Henderson, Ricky Henderson.
Oh, Ricky! Man.
Yeah.
Well, that and also like your intimidation factor. You'd pull that visor down. It's like, who wants to possibly mess around with this guy? First of all, you're a black belt in how many different your karate, taekwondo.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think people. And by the way, players knew that, right? Like if you come high and tight, they're like, I don't want to charge the mound today.
I don't think they knew it until Pat Corrales charged me, and then they found out.
How long would it take for you to take us both down right now?
Right now?
Yeah, 3 seconds, 5 seconds.
I'm old, man. I'm 69. Probably 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10 minutes.
It's not less than 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
No way. No way. When did you, because to be drafted in 75, when did you realize I belong, I'm going to be in this league for a long time?
You know, I was a converted catcher to a pitcher, and it took me 2 years to even learn how to pitch, to win a baseball game. For the first 2 seasons, I never won a game. And then, you know, I broke out in 1977 with a 19-4 season. And then I went to Double-A, and once I got to Double-A and a surprise call-up from Double-A, you know, once you get to the big leagues and you're wearing the uniform, and I was playing in Los Angeles, which I can't think of a better place to be a rookie. Mm-hmm. I knew that I belonged in the big leagues. I knew it the moment I stepped on that baseball field. Maybe I didn't so much know it, but, you know, if you desire it and you dream that this is where you should be, then you belong.
Yeah. Incredible career. I could talk to you for 2 hours, but this in your life you've had and your resume. But can you take us through what's that like in the World Series when you started the first game after the earthquake?
Mixed emotion, very, very mixed emotion. You know, there was talk that we would not even continue the World Series at that time, and they were making a decision on what we were going to do. Once we decided, or it was decided that we were going to play, we went to Arizona to our spring training facility. We were there for 10 days and doing simulated games and trying to prepare ourselves for ultimately, you know, that first game back. And I'll tell you, man, we were having live BPs, pitching against our hitters, and you know, when it dawned on me that it's time to get ready, we were doing a live batting practice, and Dennis Eckersley and Canseco were having a heated conversation, and all of a sudden Eck drilled Canseco in the back, and I said, it's time to go. Yeah. That's when I knew. We got back that next day, and then we had a 1 day between, and we were playing, and I reasoned with myself that this was the right thing to do. One, because baseball had said we should be doing this, and two, I never looked at baseball before as entertainment, but we were entertainers, and we were helping the whole Bay Area, the San Francisco side, the Oakland side. We were helping them to really get to a place where they could enjoy life again from such a tragedy.
Well said.
Yes.
4 straight 20-win seasons for you. You pitched more than 275 innings in the 1988 season, but that 261, 275, 257, 267 innings pitched in consecutive years. You okay with the state of baseball and how starting pitchers are treated compared to when you were there?
I just don't understand. I don't understand it today. And I really feel badly for relievers. The relievers, their shelf life is going to be shorter than it ever was. You know, some relievers could look forward to having a 10-year career. I think a lot of these guys are going to get used up and burnt out and maybe have 4-year careers at best. You know, starting pitchers probably will last longer because they're not throwing as many pitches, not pitching as many innings. But I don't understand it, and I'm the one person that keeps saying baseball's going to have to turn back around. It's going to have to revert back to guys, you know, throwing 230, 240, 250. You know, my numbers were crazy numbers when I look back on those years. I would throw 275, and I remember telling Tony I wanted to throw 300 that year, and could have. He started taking me out of games, you know, early August in the 6th inning to cut my innings back. But I think that the game has to go back to what it was when it comes to starting pitching and guys, you know, pitching deeper into games and technically really learning how to do their jobs. I think that today's starting pitchers don't really know how to think through 7, 8, 9 innings.
Well, okay, so then obviously the A's are in town this week. They've just played a 3-game set with the Milwaukee Brewers, 3 more beginning tomorrow against Colorado, playing out here in Las Vegas. The team is moving here. All-time great Dave Stewart, our guest here at Circa Las Vegas. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard here on Follow the Money. Now, I lived in the Bay Area for a couple of years. They won the American League West in 2012. It was an amazing season. The fans were, I still contest that team in Oakland had a gigantic fan base. Just ownership killed them all off. And now they're moving to Las Vegas. Well, are you okay with this? Have you come to grips with it?
I have. And, I'm Oakland born. So it wasn't an easy pill to swallow when I finally realized that the team was moving and it was a reality that they were coming to Las Vegas. But, they were in Philadelphia before, they were in Kansas City before that, and then they became Oakland A's. And so, what I enjoy about this move is being in Oakland it was a bad marriage. It became really difficult for this team to play there. They weren't drawing fans. The fans had one side. They were always complaining that we weren't keeping players. But the A's were contending. If you look through the years of Billy Beane, those teams were contending teams. They were making the playoffs. They may not have gotten far in the playoffs, but they were making it to the playoffs with the changes in team and changes in players. This team coming to Vegas, they're in Sacramento right now, but this team coming to Vegas is going to have, Brett Rooker is one of their guys. You have Lawrence Butler. You've got Wilson. You're going to have guys, pieces that are going to be stable when this team comes. They're trying to lock up Kurtz. They're trying to lock up Langoliers. And that's a sign that this team is shifting towards stability. And, coming to this place, I think, having fans in the stadium, it's not fun playing baseball in front of 4,000 fans.
I bet, yeah.
It's not fun at all. And so having fans in the stadium and, hearing the roar of fans, I was fortunate with my Ace teams. I played in front of 35 to 50,000 fans every time we played baseball games, closer to 50,000 than it was 35. And I'm telling you, when the rallies are starting and, the roar of hitting the ball out of the ballpark or getting that last out in a complete game, that is a feeling that is unbelievable. And I think every player should have that. And so, not abandoning my city of Oakland, but I'm grateful to the team having an opportunity to lock up players, come here to Las Vegas. And I think by the time they get here, they'll be real close to ready to win baseball games and get into the playoffs.
Feels like that to me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish it would have kept Mason Miller.
Yeah.
I know they got a haul for him. They got a lot of great prospects, but Mason Miller throwing 104 to close games would have been fun here.
Wait till you see this kid that we got in Double-A named DeVries.
Oh no, that's
wait till you see this young man play. Which, by the way, when they get to Vegas, he will probably be our everyday shortstop. This kid is a one-of-a-kind player.
Great to meet you. We both loved watching you growing up.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. We appreciate that. The great Dave Stewart with us. Up next, the Spurs have encountered many problems over the course of 4 games in the NBA Finals, but none bigger than this.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
I know, man, that was pretty cool. As somebody who, growing up, 80s kid here, along with you, Pauly, we were so impressionable back then at that age, and baseball was such a big deal to us. Those A's teams, like, no joke, they felt like a rock star to me, or rock stars to me.
Yep.
Living in the Midwest.
Absolutely.
2 teams, I would say. Certainly that team, but also the other one is also out west, Griffey's Mariners. I think that they translated, no matter where you live, you probably rooted for the kid and that entire team up there.
Just him running it down. Stewart, Welch, Moore, Eckersley, Canseco, McGuire, Steinbach, Weiss, Parker. Come on.
Oh, Ricky Henderson.
Yeah.
Maybe my favorite player of all time. Him and Griffey Jr., my 2 favorite probably in baseball.
What a team.
Love those guys.
I don't think I mentioned the year, but it was the 89 World Series. He started the first game back after the earthquake. That was a great answer.
Okay, so the biggest Spurs problem now after last night, and you have called him out several times, has to be De'Aaron Fox. And look, I know at this point the game is 20 hours old. However, that shot, obviously, that layup attempt, everybody's ridiculing for that. I'll go deeper than that. If he dribbles that ball out, he is a 75% career free throw shooter. Out of the timeout, he leaves the inbounder, OG Anunoby, free, leading to the tip-in. According to ESPN's win probability metric, the Spurs had a 79.7% chance of winning. When Fox recovered Brunson's miss with 13 and a half seconds left, they win that game 4 out of 5 times. And then, all the videos that people put up after the game was over with, I'll give you a couple. 7 minutes, 31 seconds left near the top of the key. Wemby is trying to set a screen. Fox misses him with a bounce pass by 5 feet, and it goes directly to Brunson. 1 minute later, with a 19-point lead, dribble, dribble, dribble. Step back, bricked 3. Like the offense is doing nothing, and that's the possession that they have. Mm-hmm. He checks out, comes back in with about a minute left. 18-point lead, third quarter. He crosses half court. Castle and Wemby are not even looking in his direction. He throws it between the two players, and it goes out of bounds. Very next possession, 15-point lead. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Again, right off the foot, out of bounds. Another turnover. The lead's down to 4 with 3 minutes left. He nearly turned the ball over at half court, recovers the ball. Remember, that was when OG was guarding him. Dribble, 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 forced 3, clunker. It was one thing after another last night, and Dylan Harper's last shot attempt of the game was with 10 minutes and 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. How is that possible when we're watching Fox play like this, and Harper is maybe your best player in the game? And okay, we're going to be all right.
I don't think it's that outlandish to suggest if he gets the minutes he deserves, that if the Spurs could come back and win this, take a flyer on him, MVP.
Harper?
I'm so disappointed in Johnson and Fox. Number one, that Harper's not getting the key minutes after how well he's played, and just to be stubborn and run the veteran out there who is letting you down time and time again with poor decisions. Not the only one, bad shot selection, and then the egregious mistake not to pull it out. And then on ESPN, they're 99.6% to win the game when they're up 20 with 9 minutes left. And the Knicks storm back. No, the fans didn't want to leave after the game. They stayed all night. The shots Brunson was making, OG with one of the best halves in finals history, the iconic block, and to come back and everything goes your way. And even the Josh Hart missing the bunny and not boxing out.
And they still overcame all of that.
They overcame all of it and won. That you could only manage 30 second half points and you lose the game. And how you respond and bounce back Saturday will be interesting, but it's just, I know you're young, but also the coach also showing his inexperience as well, that you just come down with a lot of time left on the shot clock in most of these, jacking threes after everything went in the first half and nothing was going in the second half, and you go 3 of 17. And then the silly turnovers, too. Whether he was taking ill-advised shots or turning the ball over, and then also between, what a 3-minute stretch to close. And then he bails out Alvarado at half court as well. And then of course, the OG block.
Yeah,
I cannot believe it.
If you want to go back and look at it, I quote tweeted it earlier today at Mitch Moss Radio on X. I had a couple of those plays written down in my notes, as I said on X, and I forgot about a couple of them. It's maddening to watch how bad he was. And some people are saying he went full Sacramento, like the King's brain popped in his head last night. And that's the player somehow, like that stench of that organization is what Fox was playing like in that game. I don't know, but I think the Spurs bounce back and win, and I think they cover in Game 5.
How much do you think the fans impacted the game? Because everyone's standing up. There's no room. You rarely see that. Every fan in the front row even is standing up. There's no room there, especially when you're trying to inbound the ball. We got some great pictures coming up later. And then Starks and Marbury are on the floor, like helping them out defensively and pointing, hey, Castle's out of bounds. And Melo screaming, the offensive rebound is there. Go get it. Go get it. Which
by the way,
out.
That's another. I know people want to talk about the bad calls against the Knicks. They completely whiffed on that. He never stepped out of bounds. Never stepped out of bounds. That was a horrible call.
Yeah, Starks thought he did. I thought it was tough to see the angle, but fair enough. But they were all over it.
I would say they didn't.
The players all the former players are all over it and pretty much on the court what they're doing there once that got close.
I can't, where does the basketball IQ go? Why does it plummet?
Well, I don't think it's fair with the name calling. I love Barkley, but I just, call him dumb, I think is over the line. I just think the moment was too big and they just rushed shots and felt, hey, I'm in the zone. Everything was going in. And why won't this go in? I'm wide open. And they even play imploded. It happens. The Atlanta Falcons. I mean, this is one of the biggest jokes we've ever seen. But then again, while we keep harping on why was the in-play so low, we just saw the Cleveland Cavaliers do it. This team is never out of it. The chemistry, the fact that Brown is playing 11 guys in the first half, nothing is working. That was the first time all year Alvarado and Brunson are on the floor together, and Bridge is invisible. McBride can't make a shot. Robinson's couldn't be played. He was out of gas. And then they couldn't miss, and Brunson and OG are taking over.
Yeah. No, it was really bad basketball, Paul. It was really bad.
Yeah, but the name calling's unfair, I think.
You're anti-Charles Barkley, though.
No, I love Barkley, but I just think you don't think you should call people stupid. I just think they're young guys and they lost. They got caught up in the moment, and that is a top 5 sports atmosphere that I can recall.
That's also on the coach, though, too. You got to take a timeout.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to sense
terrible.
That they're taking all of these missed threes with 10 seconds or more on the clock.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's a horrible job. Again, you got to sense that, though, as a player.
But that's also Kenny Atkinson. It's an 18-0 run. Kenny, call a timeout.
It's a bad state of basketball overall, I guess, is what we're talking about then.
But the fans deserve a lot of credit. And as I retweeted before the show, when you watch the game live, they are lowering the volume in the arena so you can hear the announcers. And when you hear how loud it is with that comeback, that can rattle you as a player. And I think that also made a difference, not to mention everything that was going in for the Knicks in the fourth quarter.
I mean, Wemby was also a disaster in the fourth quarter.
The free throws.
But that's on Mitch Johnson again. It's a 29-point game, and you had Wemby playing 44 minutes last night. And that includes pretty much the entire fourth quarter when he was gassed. He did not know what to do with his rotation last night. Evidently, he wanted to put the foot down on the series and say, well, we're not going to choke this game away. And now you did, and here we are. And I've seen, the Falcons memes make sense to me up 28-3.
Yeah.
I love the one about Jordan Spieth at the Masters.
Yep. A
5-shot lead on the back 9, and Willett wins it. And I'm sure that there are some great comparisons as well. But again, 30-1. I specifically wanted to get involved with the Knicks, and they were 30-1 down by 29.
That's outrageous.
I was insulted by that.
I can't believe DraftKings and BetMGM only offered 22-1. That's outrageous. But the other thing, not only do they have to rally, it's only happened once in history. A team down 3-1 in the finals came back to win. LeBron in 2016. Now they got to try to fade a Wemby suspension. One more mistake, one more accident, one more elbow, something, forearm shiver, and they're not going to have him.
As I tried to explain to a buddy of mine last night who was going off, he telling me on text like Wemby, how dirty he is. I'm like, can anybody relate to this guy at 7'5"? His elbows are 2 feet above him. I'm 6 feet tall. Oh, 5'11" to be fair. But so his elbow would be above my head. Like naturally, his elbows are going to be at like the neck and the face of every other human being playing basketball. So it doesn't matter what he's doing. Like he's going to be turning around, going for a basketball. His elbow is always going to be at someone's nose. It can't be easy being this guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See if the Knicks flop too, maybe. Try to get up there. Try to maybe catch an elbow. And you can win the series that way. Even if you lose, imagine that. It's 3-2 going back to the Garden and he's not there.
That
Definitely
will not
in
happen.
play now.
That will not happen. The NBA, it's the NBA. I'm pretty sure
there's nothing they can do now. Even Draymond Green, there's nothing they can do.
Well, unless he loses his mind. Maybe if he goes out of his mind, loses cool and punches somebody in the face, sure.
The flagrant one's all they need now. One more point. That's it. That's all they need right now. It's getting juicy now at Pauly Market. Everything up there, MVP, next team, LeBron, Giannis, politics, weather, mentions, economy, Game 5, Stanley Cup Finals as well. And the total is up 13.5 tomorrow. Vegas and the Rockies. Check it out, whether you're tuned into basketball or hockey. The action nonstop at Pauly Market. And get started with your free money. Use code BUZZ at Pauly Market. $50 for free. Code BUZZ at Pauly Market. Check local regulations before trading.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
What a month of June. Coming up in 15 minutes, World Cup best bet Steve Wyss to win it outright, top goal scorer, reach the quarterfinals. He's got a ton of bets. We have Stanford Steve on the program coming up in 45 minutes. He was on the court last night, Sports Center, after Game 4 at Madison Square Garden. That's I'm going to ask him if that was the best sporting event he's ever been to. And he has seen a lot with Van Pelt and Sports Center.
No one left, and everyone jumping on the court after the game, and all the celebrities and sticking around, and Seinfeld and Larry David. Shumpert wearing his own jersey. It was nuts. Paul Bovey, who was at the game, said it was deafening when Wemby was at the free throw line and missed both.
What do you think of Taylor Swift and her friends courtside dancing after they made a 3 to cut it to a 20-point deficit?
Yeah, they're having a good time. Yeah. Maybe they were clairvoyant. They know it was coming. The comeback was I'll allow it.
Good vibes there.
Yeah, she lived there for 12 years. I'll allow it. I don't have a problem with it. Habistro, this Spurs third quarter, 0 points in the paint. First team this postseason to go an entire quarter without scoring in the paint. This is egregious. Wemby played all but 58 seconds of the third quarter. Another indictment of Johnson. Yeah. Come on.
And again, the shot chart, did you see this?
Yes.
So, like the first half shot chart compared to the second, it's like they have a guy who's 7'5", and like the most talented basketball player I've ever seen. That's everything's outside. I don't get it, man. I really don't.
Yep.
They were, when I briefly looked last night, they were $1.75 to win the NBA Finals. That's with roughly a 20 to 25 point lead in the third quarter.
You got to give Rose a lot of credit, too, for putting this team together. And at the time, a lot of people didn't think much of it. But for him to get OG for Barrett and quickly, and it was Nick's Muse. You can look at some of the comments afterwards because Toronto wanted more from Golden State, like Kuminga and pieces, and like Warrior fans are, come on, this guy's not that good. What are we talking
for
about?
For OG?
Oh, it was the comments or something. But to go out and get that trade, the trade for Towns, to acquire Brunson, but the OG trade, and a lot of people didn't know what they had when they made that deal. This guy is a rock star, how well he's playing. So we can agree or disagree on the insane move now that he's now plus 210 to win the MVP. That's Brian Windhorst said they need to build 2 statues of him if they win this. The iconic block and then the tipping, which, again, Melo told them, get ready, it's there. And I did not like the Brunson shot either, what you said.
That was terrible.
Well, it was way out and so fast. He had time.
Agreed.
But it worked out. And they didn't box out, and he tipped it in and was 5 for 5 from 3 in the second half. What a performance. What
were the odds on Giannis's next team at Pauly Market when you checked earlier? Were the Heat the favorites?
Yes.
Okay, so here's this is being reported from Mark Stein, who has covered the NBA for a long time. Here's the offer on this is the way the tweet is read, or written. The offer on the table for Giannis from Miami. Hero, Ware, Jaquez, Jovic, the 13th overall pick, and future picks.
That's what it is?
Evidently, if this is accurate, yes.
That should get it done.
That should be a snap call from Miami. Or, I'm sorry, from Milwaukee.
Yeah. It'd be hard to beat that.
They're gutting their team for him.
Huh?
How would the Heat be a contender next year? What kind of parts are they going to have around him?
You'd have Bam, Giannis. Who's the other kid they like? Blanking on his name. Mitchell. What's his name? Mitchell?
Yeah, Davion?
Yes.
Yeah. And also I saw there was one person who put this out there that LeBron could sign a $15 million deal with Golden State, and then the Warriors would trade for Kawhi Leonard. And they'd have a core of Curry, LeBron, and Kawhi. And that's how LeBron would call it a career. What do you make of that? That's total Armageddon right there.
I got to see what happens with the Clippers first. They get a ruling on what's going to happen here. That needs to come down. It's been too long already. Come on, Silver. Let's wrap that up. Do you have that, Corey, about what happened at this madhouse? I mean, what I said earlier about how everyone's on top of you and everyone. Okay, go ahead. And everyone's standing up. I mean, look at this. I believe that's Harper.
It is, yeah.
Okay, it's Harper trying to inbound the ball. The fan, look at this. The fan's right next to him because everyone in the front row is standing up. And it's like, No one's telling them. I mean, this is a zoo.
Yeah,
And they took some terrible shots. But, I mean, look, the cat, yeah, there it is. Got a piece of it. There you go. Got a piece of it. That was huge. And no foul at the end. But this is just an all-time atmosphere and environment, and the place is up for grabs, what's going on there, and how you feel if you spent all that money and left early. Not a lot of them, but some people did.
Well, I know that New York fans are super excited. I don't know how they're going to do it back-to-back nights, but the Liberty are in action tonight as well. They're playing in Atlanta against the Dream. Atlanta favored by 3.5 points. Angel Reese rebound prop it's either 11.5 or 12.5.
Yeah.
You got to pay some juice to get 12 plus. You get plus money to go over 12.5. She said 17 in back-to-back games and 13 plus in 5 of 11 games so far. Last year with Chicago against New York, she had 12, 11, and 10. As a rookie in 2024, she had 16, 10, 10, and 9. I don't think I'm playing that one tonight. Liberty can be a tough matchup, obviously. They're talented, but the Dream favored by 3.5 here.
Liberty have issues.
Huh?
They have issues. They're not that good.
Mm-hmm.
I would take over 11.5 rebounds with her as well.
You wouldn't pay the price?
I do not like the spot for the Chicago Sky, but that's too much with the Fever. The Fever have their issues as well, but the Sky on a 1-7 ATS run and coming off the emotional game, and they had the lead and then blew it against Reese in Atlanta. Indiana should get right here, but that's a ton of points.
Let me give you this with the home road splits for Caitlin Clark. At home, by the way, 5 at home, 5 on the road, but at home averaging 22.4 points compared to 15 on the road, 8.8 assists at home compared to 7 on the road. She averages 5 rebounds compared to 4 on the road, and she shoots 36+% from downtown at home compared to 29% on the road. They're at home tonight. I wanted to play a double-double. She's not killing with the double-doubles this year, but she has been much better playing at home than on the road so far this year. And my bet it's not a big bet. I said big bet earlier.
Shepherd?
That was a mistake. She's plus money for a double-double tonight.
Yeah, she cleans the glass.
But this is the bet for me. It's Natasha Mack for Phoenix. She has had 6 double-digit rebound games so far in the year. She had 10 in 25 minutes against Golden State on Tuesday. She only had 4 the game before that, but 10 and 11 in the 2 previous games. Dallas got out-rebounded by Minnesota 41-31. A Sparks player had 10 the game before that against them. Flaugier Johnson had 10 the game before that. Nalissa Smith had 12 for the Aces. Stewie had 11 the game before that. And believe it or not, Angel Reese only had 9 as the high rebounder for the Dream in the game against that. But I played 9.5 over at plus 112. Natasha Mack, let's go clean the glass tonight, please. And get the job done.
You can do Shepherd props in the Dallas-Phoenix game, and I like that game over as well. Dallas has been hot. They did come off the blowout loss against Minnesota, but they've been playing a lot of high-scoring games as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that over tonight, too.
Give you a little Major League Baseball here. One bet that I probably will have in pocket before the game tips off or first pitch in the next hour, and it's Dodgers in the first 5. Keller against this Dodgers roster, 91 plate appearances, a 313 batting average, 422 weighted on base. Ohtani in his career, 4 extra base hits, 2 home runs. Freeman has batted 500 against him. The Dodgers in the first 5, last 16 games, they are 12-3-1. Wroblewski takes the mound tonight for LA. He's 8-2 in the first 5. Keller actually has, I thought about playing the Dodgers in the first 3, but Keller has been really good the first time through the order with a 1.45 ERA, a 192 batting average, a balls in play, which should get corrected. But overall, I want that second at bat for the top of the order for the Dodgers. So I think like minus a half a run in the first 5, minus 115 territory for LA is definitely worth a play tonight.
Fingers crossed. Jason Giambi is done with the autograph signing at 3:30. And he's signing right up here.
Oh, he is.
So he can come right down. We can grab him before we get off the air.
He might be on at 3:45 Pacific time.
What a career he had.
I went back and looked at his, because we thought the idea of him coming on today was going to be possible with Dave Stewart earlier this hour. Paul, I knew that he was obviously awesome. He had years where he would bat like 340 with 40 home runs. Who does that anymore?
Mm-hmm.
A 340 plus batting average with 40 home runs? This is not like the 1960s we're talking about anymore.
Those are also great A's teams that were fun.
They were totally
Zito and
a totally
Mulder.
different iteration of the A's.
Yeah. That Tejada
spawned Moneyball.
Those teams were great.
Oh, they were absolutely outstanding.
Yep. Follow the money. Brought to you by Pauly Market. Get in on the action with a free $50 by using promo code BUZZ at Pauly Market, code BUZZ. And like Mitch mentioned earlier, Giannis next team, LeBron next team, MVP, big move on OG. Next team odds with several players, weather, mentions, it's all up there. Get your free money and your $50 at Pauly Market with code BUZZ. It's awesome. The menu's fantastic. Everything imaginable up there. And go get Game 5 of the NBA Finals.
We'll dive into the World Cup to begin the next hour. The Meat Man Steve Wiss on the program with his best bets next on VSiN.